This is BeamNG.drive 0.34. The newest update came on December 10th, and after 1 week after release, it is turning BeamNG.drive community upside down. In this video, let's see why, where I'm gonna show you the major changes as a release of Bruckell Nine, the oldest car in BeamNG.drive, or will that be the newest since it came out just last week? Well, you got it. Plus, some changes in the West Coast map and the slightest improvements as a capability of changing the count's color. Let's just keep the orange one for a while. The Bruckell Nine is certainly one of the coolest cars BeamNG has released in a while. It is massively inspired by the 1930s Chevy Suburban and also a little bit inspired by the Ford Roadster, especially the 1932 model. That's particularly one of my favorites, with an almost 100 years old sport design that even features the famous mother-in-law seat. That's cruel. The Bruckell Nine features many different versions, including coupes, sedans, vans, pickup trucks, and hot rods. In my point of view, the overall shape is perfectly aligned, giving the car harmony and a beautiful design. Quite faithful to the original one without being an ordinary clone. That was a great hit since they joined many features from different cars from that time, merging it in this perfect design shape. So let's now take some of them for a ride and see what it gets. Let's start with one of my favorites, the coupe version. Let's see how this thing behaves when the driver suddenly loses control and hits the brake. Whoa! I'm not a fish. What am I doing here? Yeah, considering the heat that resists a lot. So now let's pick another one. What about the deluxe sedan? It has a lovely V8 engine sound. So let's see how this thing behaves with a sudden loss of control.
Oh my God!
It's a lot resistant, which reproduces the normal behavior that a car had in the past with the impact. Many people criticize today's cars, telling they work like they were made of paper, but there is a reason behind the fact. In the past, cars used to be resistant. However, the impact was massively transmitted to the passengers and to the driver, increasing the risks of catastrophic accidents. Today's cars are projected to have a higher shock absorption. For that reason, they are deformed in the shock impact, not your face. What about exploring more details in the car? Let's start with this one. That's a very characteristic format for a trunk. I don't think its storage is so big, but let's find out. Well, that's peculiar, and yeah, that does seem like a recycling trash can. So let's close the trash can, oopsie, the trunk, and here another 1930s characteristic feature, the opposite side back door. In my point of view, that turns the car fancier, don't you think? This specific car model has leather interior and a very well designed texture. What drew my attention was that wooden detail in the glass border, and surprisingly it has even a glove box that seems to be locked. Which secrets do you keep inside? With this button in the left, we turn on the lights. Here we go. I can see you. We can even see these beautiful features in a more simple version of the car. And in summary, this is a very cool update. If you grew up watching the old cartoons on TV, like the Woody Woodpecker Show and the Adventures of Tintin, this car design shape is a lot familiar and brings a lot of nostalgic feelings. The only con I found in this car, including all the models, are the lack of controls and directions. For example, I can't open the glove box, turn on the windshield cleaner, or even move the sun shader. While in other cars like the 1963 Volkswagen Beetle, that is not even a BeamNG.drive official mode, we can interact with a lot more stuff, like the detailed glove box, the window glass opening, the sunshade in both sides, and even the windshield cleaner. Wouldn't that be cool to have all those features in an official BeamNG.drive mode? Tell me in the comments. Let's talk about another great feature that BeamNG.drive has been implementing. The rally mode is an experimental feature, being an extremely early preview of a section that's coming out in the next versions of the game. It may present some flaws and it may progress in the next months. In my point of view, that's a response to a feature that was released in another game in 2024. I'm talking about DriveX, that is known as BeamNG.drive clone for mobile devices. By the way, if you want, I can bring a complete review of the game. That seems to be very cool. And the best of all, it is for free. It really has very impressive graphics for a mobile game. Back to BeamNG.drive, we have 3 maps to try the new rally feature. Let's select the first one. I don't know if the feature allows you to play with any car from BeamNG.drive or any mode installed from third-party developers, or if it is just set to a specific cars, like the Charrier Vivace, one of the most common rally cars in the game, that is being displayed now. And let's see the first impression of the rally version game. As I told, feedbacks are welcome, and one of the feedbacks I would give to the BeamNG.drive community are, for example, the addition of audio effects like a GPS voice telling you the direction you should go. That is a feature that was implemented in DriveX, and it adds a more immersive environment to the game. Another great feature that would help the driver a lot to feel more immersed in a virtual car simulation with BeamNG.drive is the addition of a crowd like Gran Turismo 4 had in the rally missions. That seems a lot cool. I didn't notice any relevant bug while playing these rally cars. That must be thanks to their later bug fix update, and in summary, that's a very cool feature that tends to be improved in the next months. And now it's time to talk about the slightest changes like the menu design change, with new icons for the free roam, time trial, and more options. The loading menu keeps basically the same with the addition of new pictures, as the new menu has new pictures. Another if-then change is the vehicle config menu design. In my opinion, it is better now with more contrast in the menu interface. The major difference here is in the color tab, with a new standard color palette with more saturated colors, the subdivision for each paint tab. In addition to the features, now almost all the cars have police parts that you can equip for a cop gameplay. Get it? Cop gameplay?
Just ignore it.
We can add the police flashers to the Gaver Barstow. And what about a car that has nothing to do with a police vehicle? For example, we can now have a police rotor, which looks absolutely insane. So as the light bars are now customizable. Unfortunately, for some reason, there are 3 cars where you can't add these features. They are the Widgeon, the Pigeon, and the truck. You can also now control the lights with these dedicated inside buttons, which can help to give a more realistic police chase. And yes, the con's design was remastered, and now you can change its color. Just use your creativity, and look at this. We have now a Christmas con. So that's it for the BeamNG.drive major updates in the version 0.34. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can help me to create more videos like this. See you in the next one. Goodbye.